Standing nice and tall. And I want you to come as close with your feet as you can to the wall. This means that your back is not going to be flat on the wall. We're just standing tall against the wall, nothing else. And I know that people are still joining us, so we'll give it a few minutes here. Just allow yourself to breathe. The arms are hanging loosely by the side of the body. Now take a moment to look down at your feet. I want you to squeeze your heels together with your toes about 3 or 4 fingers apart so that you're in a narrow V position. And we're not trying to get our back to the wall in this position. So right now we are standing nice and tall. The feet are as close to the wall as possible. Some of you will be able to go all the way into the wall. Some of y'all will be like an inch or 2 or maybe a hand's width away depending on the size of your booty, right? We're not trying to imprint into the wall right now. We are just standing tall and breathing. Take a really deep breath in, and that gap that's between your lower back and the wall, I want you to breathe into that gap and just feel what happens in your core when you're consciously breathing into that space. Deep breath in through the nose, breathing into the lower back, into that hollowing between you and the wall. And as you exhale, pull your abdominals in deeper. Again, the objective is not to imprint into the wall. The objective is just to feel that space and feel how your breath connects into your core muscles. And let's take 3 more cycles of breath. Deep breath in. On your exhale, relax the shoulders, pull the abdominals in deeper into that space behind you. Feel your lower back, exhaling fully, breathing in through the nose. Exhale, really feel your lower back muscles activate. Feel your lower belly muscles activate. Relax those shoulders, so we don't want to start with any tension. 1 more breath. Deep breath in. And exhale. Really pulling those abdominals into your lower back space. And then we're going to shift the feet a few inches forward, maybe more if you need it. And now we are trying to get the whole spine on the wall. So I want you to take your feet as far forward as you need to, maybe even have a baby bend in your knees. And now try to get your lower back onto the wall, pulling the abdominals in deeply. And now that you've felt that space in the lower back, I really want you to work strongly into it. Lengthen into your heels, squeezing the heels together and down into the floor underneath you. Feel the energy rise out through the crown of the head. So you're stretching in 2 directions, into the heels and the top of your spine or out through the crown of the head. Let's take 3 breaths here. Deep breath in through the nose. Grow tall as you inhale. As you exhale, firmly pull the abdominals in. Try to find the wall behind you. Deep breath in, growing really tall, and grow even taller on that exhale. Abdominals keep firming up with every exhale. 1 more breath like this. Inhale, try to make it a really deep breath. Really search for your whole back on the wall. And really, really remember this feeling of trying to pull into the wall with your whole back. Now we're going to add in some arm movements, bringing the arms up to shoulder height. Don't let anything move. Nothing changes in your back. You're still up against the wall. Inhale, lift the arms. Grow tall through the crown of the head as the arms lift. Lengthen into the heels. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, grow taller. Bring the arms in. 1 more time. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, abdominals pull in firmly. Arms come down. Bring it to circles. We're going to lift the arms up to shoulder height. Go a little higher. Circle around and bring them back in. And again, inhale, abdominals in. Grow tall into the crown of the head. Reach into the heels. Exhale. Nice long inhales. Full exhales. Inhale. Draw those arms up. Grow tall through the spine. Exhale to bring the arms down. 1 more time. Inhale, reaching up and tall. exhale, pull those abdominals in as deeply as you can. Your whole back should be against the wall. The feet are away from the wall. We lift the arms up to shoulder height, and let's do 100 here. Inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 5. Now your arms are moving, but your back is firmly positioned. Your core is pulling in deep, stabilizing your spine. Deep breath in, exhale out. We have 8 more cycles of breath. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Here's 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale out, 2, 3. Smooth breath, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 8, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. Smooth breath out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of the most common questions I get is, how do I do the 100 if my neck hurts? This is a really good way to do it if you always get neck pain. Now stabilize your center again, really pull those lower abdominals in. You may need to adjust your feet a little bit here to maintain stability in the pelvis, but I want you to pick your right knee up. Nothing moves in the torso. Drop that leg back down. Stabilize. Pick the left leg up. Nothing should move. That is how strong your core is. Everything is stable. Lift, pull it in, and lower down. One more time. Lift, pull it in, lower down. We're going to go back to the right, pull that leg in, take the hands underneath the thigh, kick the leg out 3 times. 1, pull your hip into the wall, pull the lower back into the wall every time the leg stretches out, and bring the leg in without anything shifting. Control, bring that leg down. Other side, left leg lifts. We pull it in and kick out 3 times. 1, feel that stretch in the hamstring. 2, standing leg is strong. Core is pulled in, bring it in with control, lower everything down. Heels back into a narrow V. If you came to parallel, establish your core. Hands come to the wall, press into the wall, and just get really strong against the wall. So everything that's on the wall is pushing through the wall. The heels are reaching into the floor underneath you. Feel that scoop in your center as the abdominals pull into the wall behind you. We're going to bring the chin into the chest. Keep pressing the hands into the wall. Start to roll your spine 1 vertebrae off the wall at a time, pulling the abdominals in deeper as you roll your upper back off the wall. Keep the heels reaching into the floor underneath you. Really feel your lower back pulling in and lifting up onto the wall. And when you can't go any further, you're going to let the arms dangle. So this is very different from a yoga forward fold. We're actively pulling in and up with the core, lifting the spine up and over as we round over those legs. Let the arms dangle here for 5, 4, 3. Pull those abdominals in deeper. 2 and 1. Now stretch your spine back up against that wall, pulling your lowest vertebrae to the wall. The hands come back to the wall. Push your fingertips in. As you pull your lower back into the wall, your middle back, so the rib cage comes onto the wall. Start to pull those shoulder blades up the wall, growing really tall. Heels are reaching in the opposite direction, and eventually the head comes all the way up. Let's do that again. Chin to chest, hands press into the wall. Pull your ribs into the wall as the shoulders come off. Once your rib cage starts to pull off the wall, pull the lower back more in and up that wall. Exhaling, rounding forward. Keep lifting your abdominals and navel in. The hands come off the wall. Round over those legs. Maybe you come a little bit further down, but try to keep that lift in your belly. And we circle the arms. The head hangs heavy. The neck is relaxed. Last 2, last 1. Let the arms dangle for a second. Pull the lower abdominals in and up that wall. Heels are squeezing together and reaching away from you. Pull the lower abs in. Once the lower abs touch, the palms press into the wall. The ribs pull up. Try to grow taller against that wall. Shoulders, and then the head. Take a deep breath in here, exhale all the way out. I'm really hoping everybody felt their torso activate. I want you to remember that feeling when you get down onto the mat. When we talk about stabilizing the torso in Pilates, we want to find all those connections, and wall work is a really nice way to kind of get started. And we're going to maintain that when we get to the floor. So come onto your mat. You're going to stand really nice and tall. Heels are together. I just noticed my head is cut off, so let me tilt that a little. There we go. Good. Come to the top of your mat. Heels are together, toes are apart. Take a really deep breath in. We're going to lean into the toes without letting the heels come off the mat. Arms are just in by the side of the body. Grow really tall through the crown of the head. Remember that feeling of the wall behind you and your abdominals or your navel pulling into the wall. Lean into those toes. Make sure your little toe has as much pressure as your big toe, and then let yourself lean back into your heels. Do that again. Exhale, lean forward, take a breath in here. Exhale a little more until you feel your lower abdominals, and then gently let the shoulders shift back over the hips. And one more time. Lean forward into the toes, keep reaching back and down into the heels, standing really active. You're gonna cross one arm over the other, press your palm into your elbow, press the other hand up against the elbow, and slowly start to lower down by bending the knees, squeezing the heels together. Now the heels will lift off your mat, and we're just gonna bring the hands down beside our feet. You can take it over to one side if you need to, and just roll it down onto your mat. Lay it down onto your mat. Extending the legs out in front of you. And I want you to imagine, so once you come down onto your mat, I want you to imagine that you're still standing up against that wall, and we're kind of in the same position that we started in, where we had a little gap between us and the mat underneath us. And for some of us, that gap is a little bigger. For others, the gap is a little smaller. Whatever your gap is, I want you to breathe here. Exhale your abdominals into that space. Extend into your toes. Your hamstrings are hugging the mat. Your heels are gently pressing down and extending forward. Imagine that you're growing tall through the crown of the head. Your rib cage is pulling all the way into the mat underneath you. Take another 2 cycles of breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling all the way out. Deep breath in. Exhale all the way out. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Stretch as high as you can with your fingertips until you feel a little hollowing in the chest. Now, if this is not comfortable for you, you can always bend your knees a little to pull the abdominals in deeper. Yes, so if you find your pelvis is tilting too far forward, bend your knees a little and press your feet into the mat. But I want you to feel that strong connection in your core. Reach your fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Take a really deep breath in and reach the arms back. Keep your ribs pulling into the mat underneath you. And exhale, bring the arms back over your chest. And again, inhale, reach the arms back until they're in line with your forehead. Exhale, imagine you're pushing through mud to bring the arms in line with your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen back, stretch without letting your ribs lift. So your ribs are still hollowed out. Your shoulder blades are lifted and reaching up to the ceiling when the arms come back to center. One more time. Inhale, stretch back, pull your ribs away from the arms as the arms reach away, and we bring the arms back into center. Let them come down into the side of the body. Bring one knee into the chest, give yourself a really nice stretch. The other leg goes away, and we change sides, just stretching across the pelvis, releasing any tension we might have built up there. Believe it or not, everything that we just did was pre-Pilates. And we're gonna bring both knees into the chest. You're gonna rock it up for a second. One thing that I forgot to say at the start of class is if you have a weight, you're gonna grab a weight. If you don't have a weight, don't worry too much. But if you have one, take a second to grab your weight now. I am using a 10-pound weight. You're gonna place that weight over your ankles just to weight your legs down and to kind of have a little bit of feeling in the lower half of your body. And we're gonna use that for the first couple of exercises here. Once you've placed your weight onto your feet, you're gonna roll it back down onto the mat, arms long besides the body. Feel that weight heavy, pressing your legs into the floor underneath you. Take the arms back up to the ceiling, lifting the shoulder blades off the mat. Feel your chest hollow out. On your exhale, lift your head and shoulders so that you're looking over the chest. The arms come over the thighs, and we pump again for the 100. Stretch those toes nice and long. Deep breath in through the nose, exhaling all the way out. And deep breath in. And exhaling. Here's 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you curl up just a little higher? Exhale. Stay at that height. Here's 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 2. Notice if your toes want to pull towards you, stretch them away for now. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. Curl up just a little higher. Pull those lower abs in a little deeper. 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale all the way out. Pull those abs in. Hold on behind your thighs. Roll it up, one vertebrae at a time. Flex your feet, take a really good stretch over those legs, pull your toes towards you, and keep your heels reaching forward. Now, if you need to lose the weight at any point in time, you can lose the weight. You can also bend your knees, and if you do so, you do that bend without the weight, yes? Otherwise, we're going into the roll down and the roll up. Hands stay close to the thighs. Pull your abdominals in. Look into your core. Roll it down, one vertebrae at a time. Now, I typically have to bend just a little bit to roll that lower back to the floor and stay connected to my abdominals. So find a teeny bend if you need to. Reach those arms back, lifting them up to the ceiling. Look over the chest. Roll it up, one vertebrae at a time. Imagine you're peeling off your mat just like you did when you were standing at the wall. And we roll it down, one vertebrae at a time. Knees bend, pull the abdominals in, rolling back, reaching the arms back. We roll it up, lift your arms up to the ceiling, head looks through the arms, pull those abs in, reaching forward. Give me 3 little pulses at the top this time. Here's 1 and 2. Reach forward. 3, deepen those abdominals, roll it down. Really feel that stretch in your back. Always remember you have the option to make your range of motion smaller if you need to. One more time, look through the arms, over the chest, stretch into the legs, pull the abdominals back as you roll up, and pulse at the top. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to take that weight off our ankles, place it to the side if you still had it there, and just bend your knees if you need to. Roll it down, placing your spine down onto your mat. Bend your knees for me, press your feet firmly into the mat, anchoring your hips. Right leg goes up to the ceiling. Turn your leg out slightly from the thigh, more than the foot, yes? And we're gonna take the heel of the right leg across the left thigh, swipe the thigh, circle around to the right, pause at the top. And again, 4 more. 1, pause at the top, circle across, around, and in. Here's 4, last 1. Feel the femurs circling in that hip socket and reverse. 1, and pause at the top, and 2, take it out, around, and in. Right shoulder across the left and in. 2 more. Inhaling, exhaling. Good. Bring that knee in. Give yourself a nice little stretch here. Knee pulls into the chest, and we switch sides. Right knee bends, press that foot into the floor. Left leg goes up to the ceiling. Slight turn out here, arms press down. Take the heel across, swipe your thigh, and pull in. Now your right leg is helping your hips stabilize here. Here's 3, 2, pause at the top every time. Try to swipe that thigh on the right. Last 1, pause at the top, reverse. Take it out to the left shoulder, swipe the thigh and bring it in. Stabilizing that core the whole time. So the leg is moving, but everything else is holding strength in stillness, staying nice and controlled. Last 1. And bring it in. Bring that leg into the chest. Stretch the other leg away from you. Get a really nice stretch here. Let's take 1 more on the other side. I think I might have given you 2 on the same side here. So make sure you stretch each leg at least once. Both knees come into the chest. You're going to hold on behind your thighs. Roll up so that you're looking into your belly. Let your toes come closer to the floor. Find that C shape in your back and roll it up into a seated position. Heels come into the body. Now, if you have a short mat like me, you're going to slide forward a little bit to give yourself space so that you don't roll back and hit your head. Come as close to your heels as you can with your backside. Now, some of you will have long arms enough to wrap around your shins. For others, it is more comfortable to hold on behind the thighs. Choose the option that works for you. You can also hold on in front of your knees, yes? But round forward into the legs, press the feet down, pull the abdominals in. And now think about your abdominals taking you back just behind your sit bones for rolling like a ball. I want you to balance behind your sit bones for a second. Find your lower abdominals. Roll back an inch and then rock back up an inch. Just an inch. 2 more times. Roll back just until you feel that catch in your core and then bring it up, because that catch is what you're going to use to find the full exercise. 1 inch back and then come up just an inch. Now let's go for 5, rolling all the way to the shoulder blades and back up. Rock it back and rock it up with that C shape. 2, exhale up, inhale back, exhale to come up. Use your breath. Inhale. At the start of class, we kind of saw how the breath connects into the core muscles. 1 more time. Find that C shape, go back, bring it up. Hold it here. Strength and stillness. We're not letting the feet touch the floor just yet. Extend the legs out. Find a teaser. Bend your knees. Pull it in. 2 more. Extend the legs out. Find a teaser. Bend your knees. Use your core to reach those legs long. Extend. Bend it in. Really nice. Hold on behind your thighs. Roll it back onto your mat. Slide back if you need to. Right knee comes into the chest. Left leg stretches away. Curl up to look into the abdominals. Single leg stretch. Here we go. For 10, 9, and 8, 7. Stabilize your torso against the movement of your legs. 2 more. Pull in, pull in. Both legs come into the chest. Give your head a little rest. On your next exhale, curl the head and shoulders off the mat if you can. Inhale, reach the arms and legs long forward to the front of your mat. Exhale, squeeze the heels together, pull the legs in, curl up a little higher. 4 more. Reach. Again, stabilizing the torso, no rocking as the legs go forward, and pull in. Bring it in. 2 more. Reach it out, stretch, bring it in. On this last one, hold it forward. Hold on behind your upper thighs, so just above your butt cheeks, and stretch your legs just a little further away. Really press your thighs against your hands. Pull your abdominals in as if you're standing against that wall, and bring the legs all the way in. Let the head come down for a second as you stretch your legs up to the ceiling. Pull the right leg in, stretch the left leg away at a 45-degree angle. Remember, you always have the option to keep the head down. Curl up to look into the abdominals. Stretch that leg away. Firm your butt cheek up in your left backside. And stretch just a little further. Pull your top leg in a little closer. We haven't switched yet. And now slow motion, bring your left leg back up. Change hands and stretch the right leg out. Firm up your right butt cheek. So I'm going slow deliberately so that we find what we need for this exercise to work. Your butt has to be part of it. Now we go a little faster. We bring the leg up and we switch. Bring the leg up and switch. Bring the leg up and switch. Bring the leg up. Really resist gravity. Try not to let that front leg drop down. Can you give me another 8? Switching halfway. And 7. 6, 5, 4, so a little bit more fluid, 2, and 1. Bring the head down, take a deep breath in, interlace your hands behind your head. Option is to keep the head down. Now with a double leg lower lift, I prefer smaller range of motion. I want you to think about your lower back stabilizing just like you did against the wall. So nothing should arch, and we only go as far as we can keep stability in the spine. The head is pressing into the hands. Give me 1 more where you lower the legs to where you can keep stability. Squeeze the heels together to lift the legs back up. If you can, head and shoulders off the floor. Lower the legs, pull in from those lower abs. Lower as if you're pulling into the wall behind you. Last 2, pull in. Last 1, we go straight into our crisscross. Twist to the right, twist to the left, and right, and left. Stretch your butt cheek out of your core. Twist and twist. Last two, last one. Bring everything in. Hold on behind your thighs. Pull your toes towards the mat. Stretch the legs forward. Roll up in a C shape. You can shift yourself back if your legs are too far forward. Heels reach forward so that they're in line or almost kind of in line with the front end of your mat, and you're as wide as your mat for the spine stretch forward. Place your hands onto the mat in between your thighs and give that floor a really good push. Now, depending on the length of your arms, you may need to have a little block or something under you to kind of give you that strong connection. So if you need to place a block under your hands, you absolutely can. Pull the abdominals in as you push into the floor. Try to C-shape your lower back here. And then release that tension for a moment. Two more times. Round forward, bring your chin to chest, pull the abs in, really feel your lower back pulling behind you as if the wall was there. And then release. One more time. Exhale, pull in. Remember this feeling of the lower back pulling in. We're going to take the arms up to shoulder height, stay in that C shape, and now bring your forehead down towards your knees for 3 pulses. 2 and 3, and sit up as tall as you can, stacking your spine so that your head is over your hips. And again, pull in, round your forehead down to your knees for 3 and 2 and 1. Pull the abdominals into the wall behind you to stack your spine and sit up tall. Last 2, pull the abs in. 1, 2, 3. Abdominal, suction up that imaginary wall behind you. Last 1. Here's 1. Forehead to the knees. Try to get a little closer to the floor between your legs and stack the spine all the way up and in. One more time. Shift your hips forward. Bring your knees into your body. Find that C shape in your lower back. Send your tailbone under. Hold on behind your thighs. We're lifting the legs off the floor. Forgot to say that. Extend one leg long and bring the leg back in. Extend the other long for the open leg rocker prep. And we reach and bring it in. And now can we do this a little faster? We go out and kick and kick. Try not to roll back and kick and kick. Good. Use your core to kick. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Double legs. Kick 5 times. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Take your hands a little closer to the ankles. Make a nice rounded shape with your lower back. Lift your spine off that lower back so the lower back is rounding under. The rib cage is lifting. The crown of the head is lifting. Your spine is stretching in 2 directions. Hold it for another 10. Your legs don't have to be completely straight. They can be a little bent, but I want your spine lifted. Last 5, 4, lift, 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 2, and 1. Bring the soles of the feet together, take a little rest, round all the way forward, forehead into your toes. Deep breath in, knees fall out to the side, just into a butterfly position. And we bring everything back into center. Lay it down for me. Bring your knees into your chest. Glue your knees together and imagine you have a little plate of water sitting on your knees. And if you separate your knees or let one knee slide, that little plate is going to fall to the floor. Arms come out to the side of the body. I like to go wider than my mat because it gives me nice stability in my shoulders, but you can also hold on to the edges of your mat, whatever stabilizes you the most. Hug your feet together. You're going to take your knees over to your right shoulder. The left hip lifts off the mat. Nothing has shifted in your knees. Pull your navel into the mat to bring the knees back into center. We're just doing a little corkscrew prep. Take the knees over to the left. The right hip comes off the mat. Now pull everything into the mat to bring the legs back to center. Imagine your legs are only moving because your core is allowing them to move. So your core is taking them over to one shoulder and then bringing them back in. One more time, take the knees over to the left. Pull the abdominals in to bring the knees back to center. We're going to add on here, taking the legs over to the right, making a little knee circle or corkscrew. Circle your knees forward to the front of your mat. Pull the abdominals in as the knees go forward. And we take it over to the left side and we pull everything in strongly. And again, left side, so reversing directions. Take it over to the left. Right hip comes off. Circle forward, around, and back in. One more time to the right. Take it right, circle forward, around, and back in. One more time to the left. Now, if you feel fairly strong here and you're like, I can do this, in my sleep, we have 2 more reps left, but we're going to take the legs all the way up to the ceiling, heels together. Take the feet over to your right shoulder. No slip and slide. The heels stay glued together. Circle around to the left shoulder. Pull in from the core to bring the legs in. Now, if you notice your lower back doesn't like this, we go back to a bent knee, right? Let's do 1 more rep on each side, just so that you get a little bit of practice. Take it over to the right, circle around to the front, pull the abdominals in, bring the legs back up to center, and we take it to the left, circle over and across to the right, bring it into center. Bend your knees, toes go close to the mat, roll your shoulders up to look into your core. Now start to stretch your legs forward to roll yourself up. Nice. Take the legs a little wider than your mat. Arms come out into a T. We're going to take a little prep for the saw, bringing the hands, one hand behind you, left hand comes between the legs, pull the abdominals in, get really tall, twist and look behind you. Now find your core in this position. Think about lifting a little taller using those abdominals and bring it into center, and let's go to the other side. Push down, lift the core, reach through the crown of the head. See if you can look behind you. You might find that one side is different from the other. I have scoliosis, so I can never look behind me on the left. And then bring it back into center. Now we go into our saw. Arms come out to a T. Find your wall behind your low back. Pull into that wall. Twist to the right. Look behind you. Left finger. Stretch for your left pinky toe. For 3 and 2. 1. Sit up nice and tall. Still looking behind you. Twist to the left. And pinky toe. 1, 2, 3. Sit up. Looking behind you in your twist. And right side. And reach. 2, 3. Sit tall. And left. 2, 3. Sit tall. And right. 2, 3. We keep twisting. Left. Last time. 2, 3. Really nice. Bring your legs together. Flip it over onto your tummy. Let's go into a neck roll. Hands come into the side of the body. So it's a little bit of a progression from what we did in our last Pilates session where we did the swan prep. The hands are going to come into the side of the body. And we're just going to do a shoulder roll here first. So let your forehead rest onto the mat underneath you. Lift your shoulder blades up to your ears, then to the ceiling, and let them slide down your back. So you're just doing a shoulder roll. Do the... Oh, I'm sorry. All right, hopefully this is a little better? Is that a little better? Okay, perfect. All right, so shoulder blades up to the ears, lift them to the ceiling, slide them down your back. And again, shoulder blades to the ears, thank you, Nikki, up to the ceiling, and then down your back. Now I want you to think of your legs for a moment. Hug your inner thighs towards each other, even if they don't touch. You're active in your inner thighs and you're active in those legs. Toes are gently pushing down into the mat. We're going to add on a lift of the spine. You're going to shrug your shoulders to your ears. Start to stretch your nose to the front of the mat. Start to lift the head as your shoulder blades go up to the ceiling. Reach your nose a little longer and slide the shoulder blades down your back. Keep stretching the nose forward to keep lengthen the spine. And then lengthen even more to lower down. One more time. Shrug the shoulders to the ears. Start to lift the nose as the shoulder blades lift. Slide those shoulder blades down your back, lengthening the crown of the head and the nose forward. And exhale to lower down. Adding on a little more. Shoulder blades to the ears, up to the ceiling. Start to find your lift. As the shoulder blades go down your back, you're going to turn your head to the right, circle your chin to your ear, then across your chest, over to the left, and back to center. Lengthen to lower back down. Lengthen the nose, pull the shoulder blades in and behind you. Take your chin over to the left, circle your chin across your chest, over to the right, and back into center. Lengthen to come all the way back down. Let's go into our single leg kick. Arms come out in front of you. I want you to push your fingertips into the floor. Elbows are down just in front of your shoulders. Now pull your elbows towards you as your palms press down. It's almost like you're stretching your spine forward and you have tension in your arms. Legs are long behind you. You're going to double kick with the right heel and double kick with the left heel. And we're just in this baby swan. The rib cage is still down on the floor. The abdominals are pulling in. So the whole class, the whole time today, you're thinking about that imaginary wall and you're pulling everything in. Press those arms down, press those elbows down. We have 4 more. Kick, kick. 3. Try to keep your kneecaps light on the mat. Last 2. Last 1. Press up to all 4s. Reach your hips back. Pull your abdominals in around your tailbone under. Now your toes can be tucked or relaxed. It's up to you. We're going to take an active stretch here. Take the hands back behind you, holding onto your heels, rounding your forehead in towards the knees. Deep breath in through the nose and exhale all the way out. Deep breath in and exhale all the way out. Get a little stretch through that lower back. One more breath. Inhaling and exhaling all the way out. Really nice. Flip it around. Let's go into a little bridge or pelvic lift. And take the arms out to the side of the body. Can you also hear me? I hope so, right? Well, Nikki, let me know if you cannot hear me. Taking the arms out to the side of the body, heels are planted firmly. Let's take about hips width with the legs for today. Press your upper arms down, and I want you to turn your palms so that your pinky finger is pressing down onto the floor, and you're really connected through that outer edge of your palm. Press down, lift your hips up about 1 inch off the floor. So it is really, really small. It's so small, in fact, that your rib cage is still on the mat or just about touching the mat. That's as high as you're going. We had a question on Monday about bridging, and I want to work through these bridges so that you can really feel your glutes. And now think about your rib cage getting even heavier. Think about your navel pulling into the mat. Keep your hips off the floor as long as you can. Pull your lower back, but not your tailbone, down to the mat, and then finally we drop the tailbone. So we really have to focus on keeping length in that lower back. Let's do that again. We lift 1 inch off the mat. And I also want you to think about your foot position, right? When the feet are too far away, it becomes really hard to lift just that tiny inch. So your feet are fairly close to your bottom, lifting that inch, holding it here. Take your fingers or your hand and find your hip bones for me. Now, without necessarily lifting your hips, you're going to push against your fingers and almost feel a little lengthening of your lower back. It's not necessarily a tuck. It's just an engagement that helps you find more length. Pull your ribs deeper into the mat underneath you, really scooping your abdominals, and hold it here. Keep pressing those hip bones against the hands. Keep lengthening that lower back. You should feel your hamstrings and glutes firmly switched on. Last 2 seconds. Now start to roll your spine down. Pull your boobs down to the mat. Pull that rib cage down to the mat. Pull your navel to the mat, but not the lower back. Then the lower back gets to the mat, and then your tailbone and hips get heavy. Can we do that one more time? Arms pressed down. Find your baby lift. It's only 1 inch off the floor. Press down onto your hip bones without them lifting. We just have that counter resistance so that we feel a little bit more engagement. And sometimes we don't have to lift super high in order to feel our muscles activate, right? Keep your ribs really heavy. Keep that strong scoop in your abdominals. And now I want you to think about your heels dragging in on your mat without necessarily moving. So we're not stepping them or sliding them. We're just pressing into the mat, and you're imagining that the space between your tailbone and your heels is getting smaller. Keep your hands gently pressing down onto those hip bones so that they have something to press up into, and hold it. How long do you think we can stay here? Can we stay here for 15 seconds? Here's 2. I'll count us through it. 3, 4. Get stronger with every second. Make sure you're not holding your breath. 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep stretching your tailbone to your heels. Keep pulling your heels to your tailbone. Last 4, 3, 2, and now roll your spine down. Pull your boobs down to the mat. pull your ribs down to the mat, pull your navel to the mat, lower back pulls to the mat, and then we set our hips down. So usually when I have clients who have back pain in this position, I'll give them that tiny lift, because the first thing is we want you to feel what's happening in your body. And we want you to feel the muscles that will help you eventually lift higher. And sometimes we don't have to lift that high in order to feel something activate and to start to strengthen it. Roll it over onto your side, and let's go into the side kick series. We're gonna take our right foot to the front edge of the mat, shift your hips to the back end of the mat, lay it down. You have an option here to take your head to your hands. I don't actually like that for my neck. My neck is really long, so it feels really weird to lay on my arm. So you also have the option to support your head with your hand, and you do what feels right for you. Wherever you are looking long, either towards your hand or across the room. So the arm is there to remind you that we're not looking inwards at the legs. Yes, we're gonna lift the right leg up really nice and tall. Top hand is pushing down into the mat. Do we remember that wall behind us? Can you find it here? Now kick forward, pull back, kick forward, pull back until you feel your glute. Forward and back, just two more. Forward and back, last one. Forward, stabilize your torso against that moving leg and bring the legs together. Now stretch your top hip so long that your bottom hip or your bottom rib cage starts to come off the floor. You might even feel a little space between you and the floor. We're gonna lift that top leg up and lengthen down. You want to have a slight turnout in that top leg as you lift and lower. Last two, stretch into the heel as you lower. Last one. Now stretch your top heel longer than your bottom heel. Circle that heel against your bottom foot. You're going to swipe your foot, circle around. Swipe and circle. Swipe and circle, reverse. 1 and 2 of 5. 3, keep that length, so keep that space underneath your waist. Last one, bend your top leg, bring your foot down in front of your bottom leg, lengthen that bottom leg and turn your toes down, heel up. So you're in a slight turnout with your bottom leg. If you can, you hold on to your top ankle and we lift and lower and lift and lower. Last 3, last 2, last 1, roll it over onto your belly. Give me a little clap with those heels, so heel beats. Heels together, 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 together. Keep stretching those legs long. Keep pulling your belly in against that imaginary wall. Hands are stacked underneath your forehead, pressing into the mat underneath you. Last 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you can roll it over to the other side for side kicks on the other side. I always feel weird turning my back to the camera, so I'm going to turn over or flip it over onto this side for the side kick series. Top arm presses down, belly's pulling into that imaginary wall. Top leg is really nice and long, and your gaze is long too. Lift the leg to hip height and go forward, pull back and forward, pull back, forward. Really stretch through that bottom heel. Pull back until you feel your glutes activate in that top leg. Last one, and we bring the heels together. Lift and lower. Stretch the heel long as you lower. 3, 2, can you feel the length in your neck? If not, try to find it. Stretch your head away from your legs and then circle your top leg along that bottom foot. Teeny tiny circles. 3, so the leg is barely lifting. Last 2, last 1, lower belly in, reverse it. Remember that wall behind you. Try to find it. Try to feel that strength in your core the entire time. Last 1, and we bend that top leg. If you can, you hold onto your ankle. Otherwise, just bend the leg. Don't worry too much. We turn that bottom leg, heel up slightly, lift and lower, and lift and lower. Good. Lift and lower. Last 2, last 1. I don't know if I did circles on the first side, but let's do them here. Give me little circles in the air. I might be giving you a little extra on this left side, and reverse those circles. 1, 2, and 3. Really nice. We're going to roll it over onto our back one more time to finish off with the teaser. And I find the teaser is another one that so many people have questions about. You're going to hold on behind your thighs. Pull your abdominals in. Look into your belly. And then slowly start to stretch your legs forward until you come into this rounded C shape. Your feet are not yet touching the floor on this one if you can, yes? All right, really find your lower abdominals first. We're gonna place the left leg down, but squeeze the right knee into the left leg. Extend that right leg for 1. Here's 2. One more time. 3. Inner thighs and knees are together. Bring the right foot down. Left leg goes out for 1. 2. Can you grow tall with your leg? Can you stay just behind your sit bones here? Now float both legs off the mat. Squeeze those knees together. Reach the arms long. The knees keep squeezing together. Extend the right. 1, 2, 3. Bring it in. Hold on for a second if you need to. Other side. Arms long. Left leg. 1. Lift the spine as the leg extends. Last one. Bring it in. Hold on to the legs. Extend both legs out. Squeeze your heels together. Hug your knees together. Now can you grow tall through the crown of the head? Keep your lower back rounding under. You can keep holding on with the hands or the arms reach out, and we hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7. Pull those lower abs in deeper as if the wall was there behind you. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a gentle rock side to side. That was our last exercise of today's class. You're gonna roll it over to your favorite side and come up into a seated position. Give yourself a little rounding forward. Nice little stretch. Take the hands behind you, lift the heart space up, just releasing the spine in both directions. And that's it. If you need to jump off, I completely understand.